Hello class, welcome back to our session. We are now moving on to geometry and triangles. So what can you tell me about triangles from our last lesson? Nancy, how many sides does a triangle have?
3.
3. 1, 2, 3. And if it's called a triangle, how many angles would you guess that it has?
3.
3. Like angle 1, 2, 3. That's right. Kyle, can you tell me what angle measurements they add up to in a triangle?
Triangle adds up to 180 degrees.
180 degrees, that's right. Good job. So today we're learning about one of the basic types of triangles, and it's an equilateral triangle. Equilateral. Say it with me.
Equilateral.
Yes. So equilateral. What does the name tell us about the triangle? Does anyone have a guess?
Something has to be equal about it.
Something has to be equal. And does anyone have any other guesses?
I'm guessing that all 3 sides are probably equal.
All 3 sides are probably equal. That's very insightful, Kyle. So, in an equilateral triangle, that's exactly right. All 3 sides are exactly equal in length. So you can mark that with these marks that show that the sides are all equal. And so if the sides are all equal, what do you think we can say about the angles?
The angles are also equal?
Yes. In an equilateral triangle, not only are the sides all equal in length, the angles are also all equal in angle measurements. And we can mark that with these marks that denote the equality of the length. So, who can remind me about the angle measurements? What do they add up to in a triangle?
We said that they add up to 180 degrees.
180 degrees. That's right. So, if the angles are all equal, and there's 3 angles in an equilateral triangle, what must they equal?
Well, if you divide 180 by 3, because that's the number of angles there are in a triangle, then you probably get something like 60.
Something like 60. 60 is actually correct. So, in an equilateral triangle, all the angles are equal to 60 degrees. Does anyone have any questions about equilateral triangles thus far? No?
Nope.
That's good. So, how about we try a practice problem and see if we can master our skills. So if in this triangle, angle C is 60 degrees, and angle A is also 60 degrees, how can we figure out what angle B equals?
If we add both angles A and angle C together,
You get 60 plus 60.
and we know that all 3 angles are supposed to equal 180 degrees, we should subtract both angle A and C from 180.
So you get 120, right, from adding the 2 60s, and you say that it's 180, that the whole angle equals. You get the third angle equaling what, Nancy?
Equaling 60.
60. 60 degrees. And so if all 3 of the sides are 60 degrees, what kind of triangle is this?
Equilateral.
That's right. Good job. And so let's do another example. So if we know that angle C is 60 degrees, angle A is also 60 degrees, and angle B is 60 degrees, what do we know about this triangle?
It's also
Equilateral, yes. And if we know this side is 8 inches, and this side is 8 inches, what can we assume about the third side?
It's also 8 inches.
Why, Nancy?
Because it's an equilateral triangle.
Yes, and if it's equilateral triangle, what must they have? 3 congruent
Sides.
which are each 8, and 3 congruent
Angles.
angles. That's right. So let's reinforce what we've learned through a really fun chant. Just repeat after me. When we need to know.
When we need to know.
If it's equilateral.
If it's equilateral.
We go measure.
We go measure.
And we ask.
And we ask.
3 congruent sides.
3 congruent sides.
3 congruent angles.
Three congruent angles.
Now we know
Now we know
that it's equilateral.
that it's equilateral.
Good job, class.